is Peter Clausi, of course, the VP of Capital Markets at Silver Bullet Mine. So the company has announced an arm's length acquisition. This is of the King Tut Mine in Arizona. Well, thank you for joining us, Peter. As always, how are you?
Kind of excited about this acquisition. I was a little surprised when it crossed my desk.
Sure.
My initial thought was, no, we got enough on our plate. But once I read more about it, my no turned to a hell yes.
Okay. Well, I find it, it's really interesting, and it's come a bit left field. You say it's a high-grade project. You've acquired it for very low cash terms, no shares, and to be issued to the vendor, and no royalty. But
Right.
It's interesting how this sort of came to you, because the RNS talks about Ron Murphy, the chairman, the company's VP of mining, and his brother Dan Murphy, the mill manager of the company at your Globe mill in Arizona there. They mined this in the 1980s, and they say, and you therefore believe, that they extracted and processed mineralized material at King Tut and sold the resulting gold. You've not found any documentation backing that up,
No.
but these guys are clearly trusted, and this opportunity came across your desk, and I guess at first it's like, okay, but then with a bit of due diligence, you like it.
I like it a lot. You saw in the news release that we did a 50-ton bulk sample as part of our due diligence.
Yes.
And you saw the assay results from that 50-ton due diligence review.
Yes.
There's nobody in the mining industry who's not going to like those numbers.
So this,
If you're running from a third of an ounce of gold, that's separate. I'll come back to that in a second. The assay results they averaged a 0.3 of an ounce of gold per ton, which is roughly $1,100 USD.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly. The picture you're looking at is from on site, where as part of the due diligence, the field team did panning out of the waste rock.
Okay, yeah.
And that's a picture of a pan with the loose material and some visible gold in the loose material.
Okay. So this was part of your due diligence, which is backing up what these guys, which, they do work for the company, so it's obviously comes to credibility, what they're saying.
Yeah, it's an unusual transaction.
Sure.
I have never worked on a transaction where there is zero historical documentation. But having met the Murphy brothers, there aren't a lot of people in the mining industry who I would believe more than the two of them.
Sure. Okay.
They're honest, hardworking, straightforward members of the team.
Good.
And we're lucky to have them.
Good. A question, I guess, becomes to mind, why now? If this was mined in the 1980s and these guys have been knowing it and working with Silver Bullet, why now and why not before?
It came to us now. The word opportunistic appears in the news release. Mm-hmm. It came to us now.
Okay.
And we looked at it. We've got a lot going on between Idaho and the Super Champ, and with the Buckeye tucked in our back pocket. But this was just too good to pass up.
Okay.
At virtually no risk to the company.
Sure, indeed. Well, like you say, low cost, so low risk by that means as well. And this sort of dovetails nicely in with your mill, I think, as well, of course, where the material from Super Champ is currently being processed.
Right. Back in 2020, it was a key part of our business plan to build a mill. Some people told us we were lunatics, right? Just build the mine, dig it out of the ground, and find somebody else's mill to process it. It was a key part of our investment thesis for the company that we owned our own mill.
Yeah, okay.
Because in Arizona, there are a lot of piles of rock. I can't call it ore because there aren't 43 101s on it, or a jork. But there's piles of rock all over. And our investment thesis was that if we built a mill, they will come. And this is how we found the Super Champ with its brilliant numbers. This is how we found King Tut. And I have a great expectation that in the future we'll find other material like this to process out our mill.
Okay.
Having the mill is an integral part of the company's business plan.
So you put yourself out there with the mill, and the assets sort of show themselves to you almost.
Yeah, it reminds me of Field of Dreams, right? If you build it, they will come.
Sure, exactly. Yeah.
Right. And even you look at our worst case scenario here. Our worst case scenario is all that's there is the 400 tons of rock. And you've seen what it averages. That's a pretty good worst case scenario.
Indeed. Yeah, indeed.
So this is at almost no risk to the company whatsoever. And it is our expectation. There is further mineralization underground. And we'll get to that when we get to that. The adit will have to be safetied. We'll send people inside for a look. Do whatever underground work has to be done. and chase the mineralization.
So is that the plan then? I mean, this has just been announced today, obviously, so you've sort of got to get on site, safety, as you say, and, well, so start getting boots on the ground effectively and looking actually what's there.
Well, actually, step one is to load up that 400 tons of material and get it to the mill site, process it, make some money. Pouring gold concentrate and gold doré, it's not going to be hard to sell whatsoever.
Okay, good.
Safety up the adit, go in for a look, boots on the ground, and make a decision.
Good. And he did mention in the press release there that the King Tut Material will be kept separate from the Super Champ. So is that because you've got that buyer locked in for Super Champ now? You just want to keep things sort of clean, if you like?
No, the existence of the buyer doesn't affect that decision. We just want to keep things separate. So, what comes from where.
Okay.
There are some copper operations where you will blend high-grade copper with low-grade copper so that your end product is within a certain range. Yeah, we'll take the gold as high as we can get it. So we will keep the material separate. That also helps with audit when it comes to valuing the inventory.
Right, okay, good. Well, you're definitely pleased with this transaction, so I'm looking forward to sort of learning more, particularly as you process that material and do get on the ground and actually see what's there. Generally, you're happy with everything with Super Champ at the moment as well, and of course, Washington, of course, you've got the all-important buyer that I didn't interview you on, which is a shame. I was actually away, but yeah.
Yep. Well, Dan did a good job, and as I told Dan, I'm rarely happy. Right? There's always one more challenge, one more theoretical risk to manage. But I'm really looking forward to getting that first check. We'll probably take like a 15-second victory lap when we get the first check, and then we'll be back at it.
Well, I hope that I'm around to interview you on that 15-second victory lap when that comes in. But
it'd be great.
Peter Clausi, as always, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.